So I just left the house to go pick up my kids. And 10 minutes later, I got a motion alert from Ring. My alarm was going off. I open up my app and there's this guy running out the front door. I didn't know who he was. Before I could do anything, I got a call from Ring.
This is Jordan with Ring Alarm Monitoring. I'll send the police right over.
My name's Nadine, and Ring helped save my house from a break-in.
Protect your home today with Ring Alarm. Go to ring.com/safety. That's ring.com/safety.
I need a change. You've been cold to me too many times. You're wasting money. You're a leaker. So I'm replacing you with a new Navien tankless water heater. No more cold shoulders, no more leaks. Just spa-like comfort and Navien peace of mind. And oh, I want you out today.
When you're ready for a change, ask your plumber about Navien or visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast 42-year-old Gary Lee Owens of Stillwell, Kansas. Recently, police in Stillwell, they received a tip that two fugitives were hiding out at a specific house. Well, naturally, authorities investigated. And when they knocked on the door, Gary answered. But here's the thing. Gary was not one of the fugitives that police were looking for, but they asked if he knew anything about them. Says he didn't. Cops believed him, but he even gave permission. He said, go ahead, search the house. But he added one restriction, like, you could search the house, but, quote, everywhere but the garage.
That works.
Well, the police didn't have a search warrant, but because he specified everywhere but the garage, they managed to get a search warrant basically in no time, and then they searched the garage. Police did not find the fugitives they were looking for, but they did find the meth lab that they weren't looking for, and Gary was arrested on related charges. Oh, yeah.
Gary.
Hey, man, you can search the well, don't go in the garage, fellas. Like, what did you think the cops are going to do? I don't even think they searched the rest of the house. I think they were like, you know what? We only want to search your garage.
Mm-hmm. And it's like when a little kid just has something behind their back.
Nothing.
Yeah.
My favorite's my daughter. Be like, hey, baby. Like, nothing. It's like, okay, now I have a lot more follow-up questions. I was going to say something to the effect of, like, it's time for
like
dinner.
Ice cream?
Right, but now your response is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's 20 more questions, and we get to the bottom of it, and it ends in disappointment on my behalf. Every time.
Yeah, what did you do after work? Not happy hour with Jim.
Yeah, sure as hell wasn't that.
Don't call him.
Yeah, don't check. You can call all my friends except Jim.
He might be still there.
So let's drink. We pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes a story a story. Hello, Aaron. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola. All right, Aaron, you understand how this here game is played?
Oh, sure do.
Fantastic. As always, you have one of three stories to choose from. One is the wonderful world of drugs. One is Bite Me. In other words, what does someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up inside of someone.
Ooh, let's go with what's in people's food.
Oh, he goes with Bite Me. That's right. The category is Hey, easy, man. The category is Bite Me. Here is your story. A food production company was ordered to pay nearly 17,000 pounds, this is over in England, after a man found something in a loaf of bread as he made sandwiches for his children. Mr. Stephen Force of Kidlington, Oxfordshire, he'd already used some slices of the bread when he came across the offending object. Mr. Force purchased the loaf online through a Tesco branch. Premier Foods, they were fined 5,500 pounds and ordered to pay an additional 11,000 in costs at court. Now, the company admitted to having failed to maintain acceptable standards at its British bakery site in London. Mr. Forrest said he'd already used some of the bread when he noticed, quote, a dark-colored object embedded in the corner of 3 or 4 slices. He continued, I thought it was where the dough had not mixed properly prior to baking. He said he continued to prepare some sandwiches for his children and their friends from another loaf of bread. Quote, I checked carefully each slice in turn, and I felt quite shaken. As I was feeling ill, I couldn't face eating anything myself. I sat with the children as they ate theirs. Now, Mr. Forrest contacted the Cherwell District Council and environmental health officers. They visited the family's home to collect the evidence, and during the visit, one of them identified that what Mr. Forrest thought it was in fact that. A spokesman for Premier Foods said, quote, we apologize profusely for the distress caused as a result of this isolated incident. As soon as this complaint was made, we stopped all bakery production at the site and appointed an independent specialist contractor to conduct a thorough investigation. Now, the question is, what is it that he found in his loaf of bread? Did he find a mouse, a condom, a Band-Aid, or a drug baggie? So again, one of these 4 things was in the loaf of bread. A mouse, a condom, a Band-Aid, or a drug baggie.
Yeah, I just think it's gross that he let his kid keep eating after he found it. I mean, that's kind of messed up.
Okay, look, I thought the same thing, and I know that his excuse would be, well, these slices of bread didn't have any of the object in it, but it's just the point, like, they're from the same loaf, bro. You know?
If you find mold on one piece of bread, you don't eat the rest of the loaf of bread. That's just dumb.
That's why you give those to your kids. See, he's thinking ahead.
Exactly.
My grandmother just pulled it off and toasted it.
Yeah, same thing. Just pull it off the corner.
Toast it. It'll be fine. Same with a donut, a gumbo.
And then when you get older, you realize, like, no, that's a terrible idea.
I don't think a donut ever went bad in my house.
Yeah, you got to be there. Come on.
Yeah. It takes a while on mine, too.
All right, so a mouse, a condom, a Band-Aid, or a drug baggie? Sitting.
Where was the bread from?
England?
The bread was from, so Tesco is a big national brand
Oh,
over in England.
yeah. And they have markets.
Yeah, but he ordered it online for the same reason we do curbside pickup and all that. So he ordered it online, but through Tesco.
I guarantee you, whatever it was white bread. Because he's feeding his kids.
No, look, man, when I was a kid, I eat white bread now because growing up, all I ever had was wheat bread, Dad. Didn't matter how much I begged and pleaded, trying to explain the peanut butter and jelly does not taste right on wheat bread, Dad. But no, we got the wheat bread anyway.
Tastes terrible, brah.
Yeah.
Hey, brah.
It's all right, only drink Coke out of a can with the same theory. No 2 liters.
Yeah.
Man, that's a tough one.
I'm going to go mouse, Aaron. I'm thinking it's mouse. I think it was disturbing enough to him where he went, I just don't see a condom getting into the bread.
You haven't worked with the people I've worked with.
Band-Aid makes sense. Drug baggie makes sense. We've had those stories before. That stuff falling out. A condom's not going to fall off your penis and into the dough mix.
Well, how do you stir your dough?
That's a good point.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to put it on.
I know.
So you're making bread. You're about to saddle up, put your condom on. Boom, falls in the bag.
I'm going mouse, man. I'm not putting a condom. I'm not stirring my bread.
I'm going with the theory, and it has nothing to do really with this. But like, I only know that name Tesco from people going there wasted.
Okay.
Right? So what if people go there wasted, get a sausage roll late at night? What if their factory is a bunch of people that like to party as well?
In the food industry, granted, I was in restaurants, but liking to party is a prerequisite of that particular industry.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It might just be a drug baggie.
You gonna go with drug baggie?
Yeah. I mean, it's also, right, like, it's over there.
They, again, apologized profusely and admitted wrongdoing.
Sure. But keep in mind, because they realized it's not Tesco, it's the bakery.
So Band-Aid to me is out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's an accident that can happen. You know what I mean? Like, look, dude, we messed up.
No, you have to apologize. I think it's worse with the Band-Aid because that means human error. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's just me.
Aaron,
I don't
what are
know
you
why.
thinking?
I'm thinking, let's go drug baggie.
All right.
Yeah, because I think if it was a piece of a mouse, then I could say, yeah, he wouldn't give it to his kids. But if it's like a whole mouse, then he'd have thrown it away. I mean, I'd hope so. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Ted. I'm gonna go with drug bag.
Okay. TNA going with drug baggie. M going with mouse. All right, we're gonna find out if what was in the bread was a mouse, a condom, a Band-Aid, or a drug baggie next.
That was a tease. I was at home and I get this call from Ring.
We just received a fire alarm. All okay?
My fire alarm in our cottage was going off. And then it hit me. My parents are at the cottage. The fire had started in the chimney and spread to the roof. Ring Alarm Professional Monitoring dispatched the fire department before we even could dial 911. My name is Kevin, and Ring Alarm helped save our family cottage.
Protect your home today with Ring Alarm. Go to ring.com/Odyssey. That's ring.com/Odyssey.
There's a lot of streaming services out there, each filled with reality TV, comedy, drama, and of course, superheroes. But there's one dedicated entirely to nonfiction TV and documentary films, and that's Curiosity Stream. History, science, nature, we've got it. Space, dinosaurs, big cats, we've got that too. And pretty much anything else you want to explore. Go ahead, add some smart TV to your smart TV with Curiosity Stream. Go to curiositystream.com to sign up and start streaming today.
The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
All right, we're over in England there for Profile This. The question is, what is in the food? On Bite Me, food company had to pay £17,000 after a dad found something in his bread. The company did admit wrongdoing. Question is, what was in the bread? Was it a mouse, a condom, a Band-Aid, or a bag of drugs?
And that is the question that we posed to you. Now, Aaron, you agree with E. Ted Smith and said a bag of drugs.
Yes, sir.
Oh, son of a bitch. Hold on. Let me let you down the right way. No, it was not. It was not. And now, hang on the line there, Aaron.
Yeah.
Miles, you said mouse, and Aaron, you said, dude, I would just think any father, if you realized that there's a mouse baked into your loaf of bread, you would not continue to use that bread to make sandwiches for your kids. Well, guess what, Aaron? You'd be incorrect, because Miles was it was a mouse.
Profusely apologize.
And one last thing, Aaron, just so you know, not only did he discover the mouse baked into the loaf of bread and he continued to make sandwiches for his kids, they also said the tail was missing, and the guy had said he wasn't sure if it was in any of the bread he gave to his kids or not, but he still let them eat their sandwiches.
Oh,
yeah.
Good times.
In other words, be glad that's not your father.
Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon.
the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today will be Seth Meyers, Conan O'Brien. Conan. I gotta stop saying his last name. The show is just Conan. Jimmy Fallon. Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it Late Night?
That's it. All these guys have a team of writers who help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It's up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke, and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Amazon founder Jeff Bezos made $12 billion in a day. Unfortunately, most of that money was stolen off his porch.
Seth Meyers.
Jimmy Fallon.
That is Seth Meyers.
Amazon
it's
founder
Conan.
Jeff Bezos
Sorry.
made $13 billion in one day. Yeah. Unfortunately, most of that money was stolen off his porch.
The parent company of Ann Taylor and Lane Bryant has filed for Chapter 11 protection. So now, if you're over 40-year-old white lady in the suburbs, you have to find another store that says, "I've given up."
These are some-
Yeah. You want to try it again?
That one was fire.
That was fire.
And I crapped all over it. The parent company of Ann Taylor and Lane Bryant filed for Chapter 11 protection. So if you're a 40-year-old white lady in the suburbs, you'll have to find another store that says, "I've given up."
It's a great joke. It's a great joke.
I thought it was. Can't hear anybody in here. It's weird.
I know.
Fast food chain KFC says it's working with a Russian three dude. Damn it, Pickles! Fast food chain KFC said it will work with a Russian 3D bioprinting lab to create so-called meat of the future, while Arby's announced it's going to stick with the meat of the past. Relax, it's only a few days old.
Seth Meyers.
Yeah, Seth.
That is Seth.
Fast food chain KFC has announced that it will work with a Russian 3D bioprinting lab to create the so-called meat of the future, while Arby's announced that they're going to stick with the meat of the past. Relax, it's only a few days old.
There's a new study out that says a third of people who own adult toys say they never clean them. Oh. And that's because star figures have never been out of the package.
They touched it.
I was thinking about nerds with their toys. You see, it's original packaging. It's the gold guy.
The gold guy.
3D
My
2PO.
flashlight in the original packaging.
It's the gold guy.
Iceland has a new service where people can go to a designated location and scream out their frustrations. Huh. We have something like that here in America. It's called Costco.
Conan.
Fallon.
Conan.
Iceland has a new service where people can go to a designated location and scream out their frustrations. Yeah, we have something like that here in America. It's called Costco.
Did I mess something up? Oh. Oh! Damn it. All right. Let's see here. Oh, all right. We're sticking with sports. By the way, opening day today.
That's right.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
No fans in attendance. Only 2 games going on. The New York Yankees are playing the Washington Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Fauci, a lot of things. One, he is not as an athlete. You know what? I bet he's a runner. Have you seen him throw out the first pitch yet?
I did.
It was sad.
I have not seen it.
It practiced social distancing. He threw it at first base.
Yeah.
He trained the balls to practice.
Yeah, don't go to the
Don't
catcher.
go anywhere near the catcher.
I touch this. Don't touch it. I'll throw to first base. No one's there.
I mean,
it's almost like a pickoff move.
But it's also weird because, again, when you throw out a first pitch, like they kind of, at least in the minor leagues, they ask you don't have to go up to the mound or whatever.
But he did.
He did.
He went full 90.
He towed the rubber.
Or not 90.
60.
60 feet, 6 inches.
Yeah.
You know that.
I should know that.
Right, baseball's back, and I think their game on later tonight is the Giants versus Dodgers. I tell you what, that would have been a hell of a game to see in person.
Was that the game in L.A.?
It'd been a hell of a fight in the parking lot if people were there.
That's right. You missed that, too.
I mean, that's half the action of going to Giants and Dodgers.
Because they specifically stab each other. Like, for whatever.
No, trust me, I know. I was talking about this in February to a guy, right?
All right.
He's wearing a Dodgers hat or whatever. And I said, hey, I'm actually going to the Giants-Dodgers games at Dodger Stadium.
Liar.
And he goes, be careful in the parking lot. And I go, what do you mean? He said, he's like, literally, like, people get stabbed.
Dude, every year. I mean, and it's every game, all the time. It's always the parking lot, never in the stands. It's like, good, but it's those 2 teams specifically.
I swear to Ted, they do, you were talking yesterday about going to that one kind of preseason spring training game that they have at home every year.
Yeah.
2 years in a row, I ended up being in San Francisco for the same exact weekend. And at AT&T Park, they have the Giants and the A's. 2 teams, same town, basically, Oakland and San Francisco. They're going to play. Obviously, they're not in the same division, so there's not that much of a heated rivalry.
But you're across the water.
But you're still Oakland.
But you're across the bay. Like, there's a rivalry.
Giants fans are still Giants fans, and it's still the Oakland A's. And, man, you've never seen a bigger party of happy people. It's almost like going to the Apple Cup. Yeah, I mean, you're like, I can't imagine anybody would be mad. You know what I mean?
I don't know how you have this reverence for the Apple Cup. Like,
What I'm
our
saying
own
is-
friend Taryn Daly, like, she tells a horrible story about getting harassed by adults as a child. Like, most rivalry games, I think tailgating, and when you don't have a dog in the fight, it's fine.
Well, they
Right,
grew up.
you don't take it at, right.
They grew up and are now Seahawks fans.
What's that?
The fans that harassed her.
What?
Taryn. You said she got harassed at an Apple Cup as a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. So I'm just saying, I don't think rivalry games are that friendly.
Okay.
You're always like, it's as friendly as the Apple Cup. Like, man, have you been to an Apple Cup game?
But I think it's just different. If you do have a dog in a fight, it's impossible for it to be friendly only because, look, I flew to Baltimore for Ravens Patriots, okay? And I'm like, I'm going to be cool, just be cool. Being there, as soon as I saw a Patriots fan, it's like, I don't punch him in the face. I didn't, but I mean, it's.
Right.
But if I go to a Seahawks game, because I'm a Ravens fan, so if I go to a Seahawks game, saying they're playing the 49ers, I'm pulling for the Hawks, but my cheering's a lot different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, like, I don't get in fights at that game because I'm like, oh, no. Fight that guy wearing the white jersey with the red numbers. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, I went to a Giants-Dodgers game in Giants Stadium. There was one dude in an A shirt, and people kept yelling S at him. So I'll be like, I don't know, like I'm just saying, like I just would describe rivalry as like the funnest time.
Right.
I mean, they're great times, they're not the friendliest atmospheres.
But see, you would not have gotten stabbed if you had actually gone to the game tonight that you were originally going to go to.
Right, because I would have been dripping in Dodgers gear.
And if the game were, say, in San Francisco.
Well, I have a Giants hat.
There you go.
I'm ready.
Chelsea, I am very easily paid or won over. Obviously, there's no fans there.
How am I least likely to get stabbed? Cool, give me the jersey.
Hey, man.
I mean, generally,
Can I buy a hat first?
Generally, I don't even like the Dodgers. I laugh when they lose. But trust me, I was going to be the biggest damn Dodgers fan. So the NFL is still talking about getting people in the stands. Who knows? A couple teams already said no chance. But NFL.
No, that was the Dolphins.
NFL Vice President of Communications, Brian McCarthy, tweeted out that basically, for those wondering, yes, it's league-wide. Fans at NFL games were required to wear a face covering. Obviously, some people are already fired up about that. I would say this.
I think Browns fans have been years ahead of that.
Yeah, if you get to go to a game, just be happy.
Right. I saw the Ravens. They said if they can let anyone in, they'll max out at 14,000. I don't know if that's the NFL mandate or if that's just if it's team by team. But they said they would do 14,000 unless they were instructed to have fewer.
Right, and again, I think the NFL has a chance.
And Jacksonville said, holy crap, 14,000 people in the stands. That gives you a huge home field advantage.
The Atlanta Falcons say they're letting in 10 to 20,000 people for home games.
10 to 20?
Yeah.
10 or twice that many. That's essentially what they said. Okay, guys.
I think the hard part is I've heard some theories that, like, again, so let's say we all went to the game.
All right.
Now, Thrill has his family, so he could sit. They can all sit together.
Sit together, okay.
Now, even though we work together, we don't live in a home. So, like, me, Miles, and Mike, we could all go, but we'd all have to sit in separate sections, but, like, rows apart.
We can't sit together.
Correct.
I think they're doing the same thing now with the rollout with bars and restaurants.
That's what Ted was just saying during the break. It's immediate family.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
going to be some lonely time.
I was going to say,
if you live alone,
sitting here,
you can be alone for a while.
Can I have a table for one?
I think it's time to bro up, Ted, and go out to dinner together and just tell them the truth.
Just say you're roommates.
You know what I mean? Just say.
Because really, it's about your living situation, right? Yeah. So, like, I have my immediate family, obviously, but you guys would say, hey, man, we're roommates, so we already share whatever.
Yes,
I don't know. Until you show them your IDs and the addresses don't match.
It's a one-bedroom efficiency.
You're right.
Oh, yeah. I did change mine. Sometimes you move and you forget. Like, I was like, oh, no, you're supposed to. But like, did I change that? How long do you think it would take you to watch everything on Netflix?
Oh, my God. The rest of my life. They have, what, thousands of shows, hundreds of shows?
6 months? If I
they have close to 5,500 titles. That's 5,500 for keeping score.
Now, am I watching these like where I can take sleep out of the equation, I'm going back to back, or is this considering like you're going to sleep, say, 6 hours out of the day?
This is like you're just watching them back to back. You binged it nonstop. How long do you think it would take you?
18 months.
6 months.
You're way, way off.
Oh, boy.
4 years.
Jesus.
Man, they got a lot of stuff.
2 months at 8 days.
I mean, for what, $14 a month?
It's somewhere around there, yeah.
Not crazy.
Yeah, wow. But they're just like, it would be impossible. Because here's the deal. It's like Netflix, you could get into a situation where you've watched a lot of Netflix, so it keeps recommending stuff for you.
Sure.
But like I'm saying, if you get into English TV shows or whatever, I mean, there's so many more stuff you don't even know what's going down the line.
I feel like I spend most of my time just surfing through all the titles trying to figure out what I want to watch. And then saying, oh, man, it's late, I should go to bed.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not that everything looks good or bad. It's just, all right, that looks interesting. Let me see if I can find something a little bit. Well, now I'm 15 pages past that. I forgot what the hell it was called, and the party's over. I'm real bad at that.
Yeah, I do feel like, too, as it like gets warmer and you're outside more and stuff, it's like different. Like when all the pandemic stuff started, it was kind of chilly. Like
you are very dedicated to what you're going to watch.
Correct. But with all that said, I still recommend to people all the time. Like, I don't know if it's a comedy or a movie or whatever. Like, there is still, listen, the world is a different place right now. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of heavy things. I still, and I know a lot of people like reading books or this or that, but like a lot of times I'm just like, man, just watch something that you could just veg out on.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? Even and the other thing too is, as weird as it sounds, like almost to the point now, like put your phone in the other room because it's natural now. People just pick it up and start messing with it. I'm not even saying just watch something.
And not only that, but now there's sports on. So like
that is true, man.
You know, I mean, like, I'm not the most excited, no offense, Ted, about the Yankees and the Nationals, but I can't wait to get out of here and watch
It'll be on.
I can't wait to get out of here and watch that, the Dodgers and the Giants later.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to tell you right now, I bet the Giants-Dodgers do a monster number tonight.
Oh, it'll probably be some of the best ratings ever, for sure.
I mean, you look at the UFC and what they've been doing, still keeping fights going and stuff.
Yep.
They're over in Abu Dhabi, which I phrased that backwards. It's the capital of United Air Emirates.
Air Emirates?
Right?
United Arab Emirates. You're talking about the airline, Air Emirates, which is an airline.
It is very nice. If you ever get a chance to fly it, do.
Every time I watch an Arsenal game or buy one of their shirts, they remind me, fly Emirates.
Right.
Right, so they've been over there in Abu Dhabi doing stuff and everything. So they've kept the Fight Island. They've kept everything going, but they've had some crazy numbers. And there's a lot of people that don't even like mixed martial arts.
I think
who are like, all right, let's get into it.
It's easier to not like stuff when you have a lot of options. But now that sports kind of disappeared, I think, like normally, I don't watch a whole lot of baseball on TV. My goal is to watch as much baseball on TV as I possibly can. Because there's nothing, you know what I mean? But I think I will enjoy it more just because, no pun intended, it's the only game in town.
And to be honest with you, it's a lot more like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette now. Like we're watching it, but the best player might not be there. He might get voted off tomorrow with a positive COVID test. So like the way the dynamic of the teams are going to change as we go.
True.
I mean, if they make it the whole way, that'll be a miracle, but it's not going to be the same team they started with.
Let's see. Samuel L. Jackson and Ryan Reynolds are doing a show for Quibi called Fava Mucka. Sorry, Mike. I was a little nervous. I read it beforehand, but I was nervous to say it on the air.
Understood.
It's on Quibi, so you probably won't see it.
That's fact.
Right.
I hope it's funny for all those people who watch it.
Quibi's had some serious troubles.
Yes, they
short
have.
form entertainment. The premise is a minor mishap causes Sam to become Ryan's primary caregiver. Stuff gets weird. Ryan is delighted to spend all his time with Sam. Sam couldn't be reached for comment. Basically, Ryan is annoying. Sam has to deal with it, which is basically the same plot of their 2017 movie, The Hitman's Bodyguard.
Yep.
And as they say here, the plot to a lot of Ryan Reynolds movies. Like, at what point do we go, he's not funny at being annoying. He's annoying to people. Right? I don't know there, Mr. Reynolds. Another good show that's coming back tonight that I like. It has a local flavor to it. Tacoma FD. It's on True TV.
Cool.
It's a couple of the guys from
Reno 911.
Super Troopers.
Super Troopers.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. There you go. TV Time with Ted. You are listening to The Men's Room.
I was at home and I get this call from Ring.
We just received a fire alarm. All okay?
My fire alarm in our cottage was going off. And then it hit me. My parents are at the cottage. The fire had started in the chimney and spread to the roof. Ring Alarm Professional Monitoring dispatched the fire department before we even could dial 911. My name is Kevin, and Ring Alarm helped save our family cottage.
Protect your home today with Ring Alarm. Go to ring.com/Odyssey. That's ring.com/Odyssey.
Angie's List is now Angie. Summer is the perfect time to book your next home project. From lawn care to a new patio, Angie makes it simple to connect with pros who can get the job done right. See reviews, upfront pricing, and instantly book hundreds of projects. Plus, when you book and pay through Angie, we'll cover your project up to the full purchase price, plus limited damage protection with our Happiness Guarantee. Check out Angie.com, and for more on the Happiness Guarantee, go to Angie.com/happiness-guarantee.htm.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Scientists come out of the woodwork in Florida with news of a mysterious gaping giant hole. Meanwhile, a 4-year-old gets a book deal and poetry relating to children's kindness, and he writes about their soul. River of black sludge oozing through Arizona will hopefully find its way to Walter Kelly's pool. In Texas, another Karen without a mask throws donuts at employees, and that's not cool. And a college student fails exam because of a meatball sub. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
All right, top story. We go to the University of Georgia, where a college student was given a second chance on an exam after an interesting excuse. The student had failed her economics exam and blamed her grade of 39% on her dinner. The student emailed the teacher explaining that she had been eating a delicious meatball sub when one of the meatballs fell from said sandwich onto her keyboard and logged her out of the exam portal on her computer. rendering her unable to log back in and finish the exam. Due to this wild excuse, the teacher saw fit to extend her deadline to midnight, and she was able to retake the test.
So, of course, I start thinking to myself, where, oh, where did this woman get a meatball sub?
I assume Subway.
Unless it's from a local place, which do have them.
Sure.
Then Subway's the only mainstream option for a meatball sub.
Well, I feel like college student, probably Subway.
And that's a great I love the meatball sub at Subway.
You bet. I'm a fan.
So I was like, man, that sucks because you lost some of your subs.
But she learned a valuable lesson. So, in the day pre-computer, when we had to do everything, with quill and paper. No, but just, pencil and paper. Teachers would take points off of your homework if you're eating. If you ate a slice of pizza, right, and you go to flip your page over, obviously there's that kind of clear grease stain where your thumb. Yep. Teachers will take points off. So you think you're safe with the keyboard, and then your meatball falls off and takes you out of the portal.
She actually shared a lot of the still shot images of the email chain that she had back and forth with her teacher, and the teacher actually came back and said, "That is an incredibly wild story. I don't believe that you would make that up."
Yeah, I mean, honestly.
Well, some of that stuff's weird. Like, I mean, I've done it before. Sometimes you just log out of something by mistake.
Yep.
Or you don't hit the right button to mark it or something.
And then you curse loudly.
But yeah, like I X out of stuff all the time. Now, if that was a timed test,
you're screwed.
Well, and not only a timed test, but a deadline that you have to be in the test portal, the Zoom call, as it were, to take the test, and then you log back out. You can't come back in.
No, you can't, because once you log out, you're done with the test.
Exactly. In other news, a bit of a sign of the times, a new study came out that revealed the sale of ice cream has jumped by 26% during the coronavirus pandemic and lockdowns. What's more disturbing is the demand for things like shampoo and deodorant actually fell during the pandemic.
We're getting fat and stinky and ugly.
Correct.
That's what we're doing.
I met a guy like 4 weeks ago. He's just telling me how busy he is all the time. He barely has time to do anything. I'm like, what are you doing, man? He's like, I'm an ice cream distributor. It's insane.
Yeah.
No kidding?
Oh, yeah.
So the ice cream man?
I mean, no, like grocery stores.
Right.
That whole deal.
Actually bringing the shipments out there.
Exactly.
Wow. And people aren't having to leave their homes at all, so they're not putting any deodorant on. They're not showering because I'm just going to stay at home and work today.
Gyms were closed forever. Like, most of the places you go that you would need to add more deodorant, just the option is
there.
there.
And it's summertime for everywhere other than here. It is ridiculously hot.
Yeah.
So.
And people go out and get ice cream in other places where it's hot.
Exactly.
And those places aren't open, so.
Ta-da! A 4-year-old boy is making headlines for being more accomplished than some seniors nowadays. The young man has actually landed himself a book deal at the age of 4 with help from his mother getting his voice out there. Turns out that the young boy is actually quite the poet, quote, dictating his work to his mother that had posted his lines up on Twitter for all to enjoy as they were, quote, purely childlike. The traction that poems have gotten online has landed the young man his very own book deal.
Yeah, it's
poetry.
It's very simple stuff.
In my milk and my cereal, I like milk and sugar, but behind the sofa, I wipe the booger.
But it's very polite. You know what I mean? It's this kid just like saying, like, take off my shoes when I come in the home. Right. And then, like, all these things.
Well, I wasn't expecting NWA. Listen, mother.
Also, I think
coming straight out of Compton.
Playing the Switch, dealing with this bitch.
To a little kid looking up to me. Shut up.
I just think that it's also another one of those things. It's something that people are looking for. It's that light at the end of the tunnel, if it were. This 4-year-old kid is finding something to talk highly about in a time where honestly it's really depressing outside and everybody's kind of having a difficult time. So I think that's helping quite a bit.
Well, and you need someone young enough to have no idea what the hell is going on to pull that off.
That's fair. The adult film industry is the latest to adapt to changing times.
Wow, what a segue.
Producers have come forward and explained that quite simply,
ice cream,
4-year-old kid, and
back to porn.
There's a lot happening in the news.
How do I order these?
Quite simply, people are not buying adult content like they used to.
But they are buying ice cream.
So those that want to make money at it have had to get creative. Their latest virtual venture, virtual reality. They're doing their due diligence to create virtual content that, given the proper equipment, viewers can immerse themselves in order to get a more realistic experience.
I told you my buddy Al went on a guy's weekend way before all this COVID stuff started. One of these guys had these headsets you put on.
Oh, like Oculus or something?
Somebody opened the door on him, and they went,
oh
God.
No.
They went, oh, God, and but they didn't shut the door. So then he's like, he doesn't know. Everybody come on. So everybody just walked down the hallway and checked him out. He's just getting there going vigorously. He has no idea because he's got this headset on. Oh, yeah, totally. It's going to town on himself.
That's rude. We need
I don't
to
know
change.
that I'd want to see that.
Neither would I.
I think it was the guy speaking.
Hey,
like,
come here.
You gotta
What?
check this out.
I mean-
he has no idea we're here.
Because honestly, you're waiting.
He has headphones on. He's got goggles on. He's just in a different world.
I mean, I get it that you're waiting for the big payoff when he takes those goggles off and surprise, here we are. But you gotta.
I'm worried about what the first payoff is.
The problem is you gotta sit through the first payoff and it ain't worth it.
He's going to Pleasure Town. He's bringing donkey sauce.
When you pull a prank, when you do a funny, you gotta see, is the price worth the funny? To me, that's not worth it. If I walk in on you, Miles, I mean, you picture your buddy from the old radio
Do
station.
you realize if you did walk in on me, I would never not look you in the eyes all the time.
I know. You'd have no shame whatsoever.
Yeah.
Oh, Doug.
I'm not even watching.
I'm getting the hell out of it. That's up your headlines with that. Mike Hawk us out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for Ted versus the FCC. The lovely Taryn Daly joins you next.
Yes, indeed, it's all true, but in the meantime, we be up out this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
I was at home and I get this call from Ring.
We just received a fire alarm. All okay?
My fire alarm in our cottage was going off. And then it hit me. My parents are at the cottage. The fire had started in the chimney and spread to the roof. Ring Alarm Professional Monitoring dispatched the fire department before we even could dial 911. My name is Kevin, and Ring Alarm helped save our family cottage.
Protect your home today with Ring Alarm. Go to ring.com/Odyssey. That's ring.com/Odyssey.